Thank you very much, Sakura, for staying perfectly in the time. And now, from the extremely little, the tiny objects and the femtoseconds I've read there, we pass to the extremely large with our next speaker, Roberto Tamai, engineer who leads the extremely large telescope of the European Southern Observatory. Born in Naples, Roberto Tamai graduated in engineering in Naples and Berkeley. After working on the European Space Agency, ESA, Hypersonic Plasma Wind Tunnel Project, he was Chief of Engineering at the ESO, European Southern Observatory, called Paranal Observatory in Chile from 1991, and then Deputy Director of the La Silla Observatory. In 2008, he returned to Europe as Deputy Director of Engineering at ESO in Garking, and is currently leading, as I've said already, the ELT, Extremely Large Telescope, about which he is going to talk tonight, and especially on how such ambitious scientific enterprises are helping growth. Please, Roberto, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation. I'm so happy to share with you what we are doing for the research. So, and let me also point out in this picture, my introductory picture, this laser, and during the presentation I will disclose why now you see a telescope with the laser pointing to the sky. First of all, what is the, not working. Here we are. ESO. ESO is an intergovernmental organization. This year, it is 60 years that 6 countries, 6 European countries, decided to set it up. Today we have 16 countries. We also have Australia as a partner in some project, and we also have Chile, that is the host country for all our facility and our telescope. What is the mission? The mission is to build and operate astronomical facility, ground-based, and therefore with a foot on ground, not a space telescope that you often heard. The ESO observatory are all built on our Earth, but also to foster collaboration in the astronomy scientific field. Where are we located? In Chile, all of us, and we go from the sub-millimeter radio waves to the visual infrared. You have already seen all of these wavelengths in Sakura's previous presentation. For different scope, what we do, we observe object along these wavelengths, and we go from 5,100 meters location from the radio waves down to the 2,400 meters altitude, where we have the original telescope of 3.6 meters. All of these are located, as said, in Chile, and the reason why they are there is because the sky over there is fantastic. It's dark, it's not contaminated by the light pollution that you have usually in the cities or in other places. At the same time, we are in the desert, where the climate is very dry. 90% of the time, it is clear. There are no clouds. There is very low turbulence, no light pollution. High altitude means also low water vapor in that area. Unfortunately, the drawback is there is a high seismic activity over there. And this is a picture that I want to show you because of the quality of the sky over there. This is not a long exposure. This is what you see with your naked eye when you are in an observatory in the middle of the nowhere. This is our Milky Way. You can really drive, you can really stay, and there is no moon here. It is a fantastic place that, in case you have never been in such a place, I strongly encourage you to go and visit. And this is the VLT. The VLT is composed by 4 telescopes, today among the biggest. Each of them has a main optics of 8-meter diameter, and that is a VISTA, that is a survey telescope in the area of the Paranal Observatory. And with this facility, we have given access to many people to the Nobel Prize. They started in 2009 with our facility for theoretical discovery in the physical cosmology, but also to look and identify exoplanet orbiting a solar type, so very similar to our Earth. Recently, we have helped with our facility to discover that there is a black hole at the center of our galaxy, and also to understand what is the behavior of the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way. But these people are often asking for bigger and more powerful facility. Today we are building these, and go more details, extremely large telescope, and the goals, the scientific goals are, how do planetary systems form? Are there other Earths like ours? But one of the most critical questions is to verify what is the atmosphere of the exoplanet. Today, we are incapable of identifying exoplanet by indirect measurements. With the ELT, we will be capable of taking a picture of the exoplanet, separating, resolving the light of the exoplanet from the star, but also analyze the atmosphere of this planet, meaning, is there oxygen? Is there a pollution? There could be a planet that there is pollution like ours, and then we will be capable of understanding what is the composition of the atmosphere of the exoplanet. And these are really fundamental questions that often we ask, but so far we don't have the machine to investigate this important question. And then testing the general relativity around the supermassive black hole. This is the center of our galaxy. You have to fly, you have to travel for 26,000 years at the speed of the light to reach the center of our galaxy, to understand that there is a black hole and how the objects are turning around our center of the galaxy. Or what is the evolution? How our galaxy formed? What is the history? Is that single? Was it emerging of more galaxy? And how did the galaxy assemble? This is going to be the first telescope capable to go 13.3 billion years back, because it has a high power of getting the faintest object in our sky, and therefore going back very close, only 300 million after the Big Bang, capable of understanding how the first star formed. And then also to understand the fundamental theory of Einstein, if it is really valid, if our universe is expanding, what is the speed of our universe while expanding. So these are all questions that our scientists are continuously asking, and to have this question answered, they need a bigger machine. But most of all, I also believe that this machine will open the window to something that today is unimaginable, because once you have such a big, a new powerful machine, there will be new questions, because they will open new windows towards something that today we still don't know. So this is the ELT that we are now building. It is going to be the biggest visual and infrared telescope on ground. The main mirror has a diameter of 39 meters. It is segmented. There is no machine that can build it in one piece. We started construction in 2014. Today, the scientific first light is expected in 5 years from now, and it costs 1,500 million euro. The first light, as I said, in 2028, and it will be operated as part of the Paranal Observatory. This is obviously a rendering image, but you will see now where we are with this construction. I just need to give you a size feeling, how big it is. I hope that many of you have been at Rome at the Colosseum, and that's the size of the telescope, so that you can appreciate what I was speaking about in terms of size. In terms of potentiality, this is what today, one of the most powerful, because it is clean from the noise of our atmosphere, can obtain. If we have the same field of view with the ELT, that's the resolution that we will obtain. So 15 times sharper than the one that today you can obtain with the Hubble Space Telescope. I strongly encourage you to visit our webpage, elt.eso.org, that there are webcams, so you can see exactly today what is happening on the telescope, but we will also give you more information about the telescope, the optics, the scientific, the instruments, and many more details that we have there. Now, let's go slowly on the industrial part. These are all the companies that are helping the ELT to move forward. This is our power in terms of construction. And among them, there are 4 very important Italian ones, in particular for the dome and main structure, the structure. We have Cimolai and we build that are part. This is the largest ground-based contract for astronomy ever placed. We have also the INAF that is leading one of the scientific instruments, and then we have Adoptica that is a consortium of 2 Italian companies specialized in the adaptive optic, that is the technology that clears up the noise of our atmosphere when the light is crossing our atmosphere, and I will explain what we are speaking about. So that is the dome, the structure, how it will look like on Cerro Armazones in the middle of the Atacama Desert. And today there are many components, both for the dome and for the main structure that have been composed. I don't want to go into the details. In case of question, I'm more than happy to answer. And this is the situation a couple of weeks ago on site. You see that the foundation of the dome are completed. They have now, and all of this will turn, because this is the dome on top of the telescope to protect it from the sun during the day, but also from wind and rain the few times that we have rain. They have started now the assembling of the mechanical structure. There is a good progress, excellent progress with the foundation of the dome, and the company is progressing on site with the construction of the dome and telescope structure. Moving on the optics, you see this is the light path. That this is the primary mirror of 39 meters, composed by something like 800 segments, each of them 1.5 meter diameter, and all of them have to be kept in position, fighting against gravity, wind, thermal deformation, and more. And then we have the M4 and M5 mirror. These are the adaptive optic, very thin mirror to clear up the light when crossing our atmosphere. Few images to show that there is excellent progress on the primary mirror that is composed by several components. We are reaching a flatness at the length that you can obtain fringes in 10 nanometers. With those tools, you can measure the grass in your garden that is growing in terms of developing of sensor. That is the secondary mirror, very well progressing. The diameter is more than 4 meters here. Never built such a convex and spherical mirror of that size. And now just to tell you where the Italian companies are very clever, that's our atmosphere. And when the light is crossing our atmosphere, you have a similar effect. Something like when you drive in the highway in the summertime that you can see. So if I have a mirror in my optical path that is behaving mirrored, the opposite of the water here, you will obtain a resolution that from here it gives to this one. So you see the great improvement that this technology is introducing. And that's the reason that we continue building bigger telescope on ground, because we are capable of clearing the images as the one that I've just shown. So also here, this is our Adoptica friends, north of Italy. This is one of the petals with thousands of actuators on the back that are changing the shape of this mirror exactly as the water was doing in the opposite way. And this is the last mirror, the M5, complex, a silicon carbide mirror that is being built in France. Finally, the instruments. This is where the light is analyzed. And here is where we have our Morfeo, the Italian instrument that is clearing the light before it is delivered to Mikado, that is going to be diffraction-limited imager and spectrograph capable of resolving the exoplanet in our universe. So, to conclude, and sort of summary, I'm convinced that facility like the ELT, as scientific research, is there also to promote growth, obviously, of scientists that are continuously asking for more, and therefore new discoveries often not even imaginable before. And the scientists are pushing a lot the engineers to go beyond what is the state of the art in order to fulfill their wish, their requirement, their scientific goal. And therefore, cutting-edge technology and know-how is strongly moved forward thanks to this research in moving forward. Then there is the industries. Often what they develop for us, it brings up a new business market. The laser that you have seen before, the lasers are there to create an artificial star as a reference. Those lasers today are used in the dentist application for some special cleaning. But there are also the actuators that have been developed for the telescope that are now used all in some car automotive application. And finally, international European collaboration. There is a lot of communication that increase thanks to this scientific need that the community has. Thank you for your attention.